country like Uganda, where majority of the population live in rural areas, access to information is a serious challenge. Many people miss out information on health, education, resource flows, and many other government programs. Lack of information sharing also limits communities to give feedback on issues affecting them. Communication breakdown is generally caused by failure to identify proper channels for information dissemination and feedback. In a recent study done to assess information flows and feedback mechanisms in 5 Northern and Northeastern districts, consultation with local leaders, especially the LC1, was rated as the most accessible means of sharing information and feedback.
Information given by the local council one often reaches the community quickly, and everyone understands it and is able to act accordingly.
Some local leaders agree with the residents, saying local council systems are more effective in getting and disseminating information.
So normally the best thing we do is just to pass the information through my office. It goes to the councillor 3, councillor 3 passes it to the chairperson LC2, LC2 passes the information to the chairperson LC1, so all the villages, then the information sinks very well to the community. That's the best way of doing it.
So it is from those administrative structures which are rooted from the community that we normally pick our information.
10 communication methods including the Baraza, telephone, referral pathways, socio-economic gatherings, planning and budgeting activities were among those assessed using scorecards. This survey was done by Development Research and Training-Uganda and Development Initiatives UK under the Program Partnership Arrangement project funded by DFID. The program is being implemented in Kitgum, Gulu, Pader, Kotido and Katakwi districts. It aims at increasing access and use of information for effective resource allocation among government and donors. The use of media, especially the radio, to share information emerged second after pulling 23% of the scorecards casted. Respondents said they either receive or share their feedback on the radio.
The radio gives us information every day. As long as it has batteries, you can listen in and get new information from morning to evening.
I prefer a radio because it is cheap. Even the feedback is instant and the results are there compared to the other structures whereby time and then the information is distorted on the way. And that's where we prefer a radio. And besides, radios are more popular here. Most of people have radios.
But some leaders claim that most people do not have radios.
When most of them do not have radio, then from where will they listen to radio from? And they don't even bother to listen to news.
A radio is better because it conveys the same information to many people at the same time without distortion. Even if I don't have a radio, someone else can pass on the information to me.
Meanwhile, notice boards were found to be key tools in disseminating information at sub-counties and districts.
Other means of relaying the information to the public, like using of the notices. That's why we have the note spots there out there. It is an accountability to the public. Whatever happens from here, we document it, and those ones who are able to read are able to get the information.
But you find most times when information is displayed on the notice board, people feel relaxed to come and view and read the content displayed, which has proved to be a challenge within the district. So you find it's kind of compromises our work. It makes work hard. The aspect of disseminating information to the locals or to the people within the district. It's kind of related to the attitude. People have a negative attitude towards notice boards. Unless they are touched or they have an issue, that's when they run to the notice boards, begin looking for information.
Meanwhile, social gathering was also found effective in disseminating information. Community members said through meetings they are able to get information on health, education, and development programs. In some areas, churches and mosques are the main source of information. During and after the Kony War, places of worship spearheaded the reconciliation process.
So, old men and women, people with disabilities and vulnerabilities, normally get information from the church when they gather for prayers or to get assistance.
Our ranking at Kopei, social gathering, becomes number 1, and telephone second, and the radio third.
In the past, we people here in Karamoja used not to take our children to school, but through the meetings, we have been sensitized to take children to school, and that is why you see that the enrollment in schools has increased.
Lotego Mateo preferred a telephone than any other communication channel.
The advantage with the phone is that, irrespective of where you might be, you can communicate with anyone at any time. Phones are also the main communications channel through which leaders call for meetings. However, the challenge is that there is no electricity here, and whenever the battery runs out, one has to travel to the trading center, which is far away.
A large number of the population is illiterate. Actually, Kotido stands, literacy rate in Kotido stands at 12%, and Panyangara is the worst. It is 4%. So out of 100 people you see, only 4 know how to read and write with understanding. So definitely, anything written is not of so much use to them. The fastest means of communicating now is by phone.
Who's calling?
In feedback methods like the Baraza, complaints policy, and the referral pathways were the least favored methods. Most respondents were not fully aware of their existence and functionality. Although the Baraza, a government program initiated in 2009 to create space for citizens' advocacy and information sharing, was ranked among less popular methods in conveying information, most people said it would be the best method of delivering messages if organized well.
The Baraza has been a very well thought out approach, offers the best opportunity for open dialogue. Which open dialogue I would strongly suggest must attract the honesty, the objectivity, and the positivity of all the parties involved.
Baraza is a very good program. The way it is designed, because first of all, it's a very good forum that gives opportunity for the community and the different actors at the service points to interact and assess how they are moving in relation to development as a whole in their areas. There was no program of that nature that gives opportunity for the community to sit together with the technical pursuits at the sub-county levels and interact among themselves on how they are moving as far as the development of their sub-counties is concerned. Because normally it is mandatory by government, it is mandatory that all lower local governments, sub-counties, should declare the resources that they receive in their sub-counties to the community in a formal meeting. Then they go ahead to implement the projects that could have been captured in the development plan of the sub-county. So in this kind of meeting, they should clearly show the resources, how they are allocated to the different projects, where the projects are, and they move ahead to implement that. And at the end of the day, they sit together to assess how they have moved as far as those programs are concerned. But we discovered this was not happening. So to me, I felt Baraza was a very good forum that would help us address those gaps.
It is the issue of social accountability, and social accountability is vice versa. The community also accounts. Have you attended many meetings in the sub-counties? Have you cleared your roads? Have you cleared your water point?
Some officials, particularly government officials, allege that barazas are organized to target them. Some officials say that they are subjected to mob justice while attending barazas because communities are not prepared.
If you don't manage a baraza very, very carefully, it could turn into a kind of a hearing, like a court session. If you don't manage a baraza very, very carefully, you are going to leave that society more divided more disunited than the way they were living prior to the Baraza.
One big challenge that I see that is making us not score with the Baraza program is that the concept is not yet fully grasped by everyone. Both the district leaders, then the leaders in the community, the technical persons, then the community themselves also haven't yet got the concept fully. Because from the technical persons, they think it is an approach for witch hunting them, that they are going to look for false finding, which is very wrong.
So, one Sophia Barazas, maybe you have something, could be fair example.
Anka wara pega na mangeo anka Angelina wake up cherwani